Hey, how are you today?
Hey, I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Go ahead and introduce yourself for the people watching.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Davonte Burse. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I am an actor. And whenever I'm not
Oh,
acting, I work in marketing.
all right now, Nola, baby. Yeah,
Yeah.
you are my first. I love a
I'm
good
happy.
first.
It's a
Hey,
pleasure.
everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, this is Synoria with Synoria's Best Kept Secret podcast. We're going to dive in tonight and get all these juicy nuggets here from Devonte. Go ahead and let me know, how did you get started into acting?
I love this question. Um, so yeah, I've always growing up, I had a big imagination, and I always wondered what it would be like to be on a lot of the TV shows that I used to watch growing up. Um, I wonder what it would be like to be a part of movies that I used to watch growing up, or even just how it worked.
Gotcha.
Um, but I never saw myself doing it. Like I never imagined that I would be working in TV and film professionally, or at all. But yeah, growing up, I had a really big imagination. Loved movies, loved TV shows. I still do. I was very infatuated with the VCR growing up. I loved my VCR, loved my VCR tapes. Kind of showing my age right there. I used to love Blockbuster. Part of me wish they make a comeback in some kind of way, like if they came back as a streaming service. But that's another conversation for another
That's
day.
another
But
conversation. That is true. Let me ask you, because you said, you were kind of infatuated with, different TV shows and your imagination ran wild. What were some of
mhm.
your favorite TV shows? Like, what were some of the TV shows that influenced you?
Growing up, number one was Power Rangers. I
Okay.
was a big, big Power Ranger fan growing up, especially when I was little. So that's one. Um, a lot of the no-brainers on Disney Channel growing up. A lot of the no-brainers on Cartoon Network. I was a really big fan of Scooby-Doo. I used to
Of
love
course,
Scooby-Doo.
yes.
The throwback Scooby-Doo, like um, where are you, Scooby-Doo? Like uh Justice League, um, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ed and Eddie, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken. Like
Oh, wow. So
I
you really were into cartoons. So now I'm going to
yes.
date myself. I was a Bugs Bunny kind of girl.
I
Um,
love the Looney Tunes and Bugs Bunny.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So, back in the day, and you were just saying about, the Johnny Bravo and, all the different cartoons.
hmm
So,
Tom and
is it,
Jerry.
okay, yeah, of course, classics, right? Classics.
hmm
So, is there something, as far as your acting, have you done any animated series or any type of cartoons?
No, but that is something that now I've auditioned a few times for those kind of projects, but I haven't worked on anything animated yet.
Okay.
That would be awesome. Now I have gotten a chance to do voiceover, but for commercials and PCAs, that's a goal of mine. That's something that I hope to do very soon
So
in
do
my
you
career.
see yourself like a superhero, or do you see yourself doing something like, a Tom and Jerry?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Either one of those kind of shows, I absolutely see myself doing one of the things. I hope and pray for that kind of role.
Right. Okay. And that'll be fun. I mean, like, I'm looking at your t-shirt and I really love your t-shirt because I love X-Men, and
I
Storm is
love,
my
love, love
girl.
X-Men. Come on, I know that's right.
It's something
I
I
should
would
have
love to
this. I
do.
should have obviously should have. This should have been one of the first shows I said, obviously. But I definitely did watch the OG X-Men show. I'm watching the new one that just came out,
Okay.
but I'm a big fan of the OG X-Men,
Okay.
and that's another thing that I grew up on, as well as the movies.
Right, exactly. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your history in acting. Like, what are some of the projects that you've taken on, or some of the
Right.
characters that you've experienced?
Right. So I think I'm a double back. I'm a backpedal to because I don't know if I really answered your question,
Okay.
your initial question of how I got started. So um in 2018, 2019, to make a long story short, at my college, at my alma mater, um, a company came to the theater at my school, and they were putting on The Color Purple on stage. And so I've seen the flyers everywhere. I love the classic, the
Right.
movie we all know and love, Color Purple. I had never read the book, but very familiar with the movie, obviously, Whoopi Goldberg and Danny Glover. Um, and so I was like, I remember thinking to myself as I'm seeing the flyers, across the building, I'm like, man, I definitely have to go see that. I have to go see that. The day of the auditions for it, I'm in my apartment on campus, and like my friends are texting me. Like two of my friends, they were like, "Oh, Davonte, you need to be here. We're at the Color Purple auditions. Why aren't you here?" And I was just like, I really wasn't thinking about trying to do that.
What?
Um,
You love the movie? And that, listen, I would have
yeah,
been going and drop,
I
stop, and roll. I would have been gone.
yeah, I had no intention on auditioning for it,
Auditioning.
but
Okay.
I did go pop up to auditions while they were there just
Okay.
to chill and hang out with them.
Okay.
So they were doing their thing, they were signing their paperwork. I was just sitting back chilling with them, and next thing I know, the one of the owners of the production company, and the casting, um she walked in the room, she saw me there. She's like, "Who are you? Are you auditioning?" And next thing I know, my friend had filled out the paperwork for me, signed my name, filled out the role and everything. Next thing I know, I'm on stage
Performing.
performing a monologue that I found on the internet that I've never been able to find again. They made me sing and they made me dance, and I got the supporting role
Okay.
of Grady, Suge Avery's husband, in
Yes.
in the show, and the rest is history. I did two more shows with them, and in between that second show, I decided to start looking into doing it professionally and to get into TV and film. Love the stage, and I love my experience there. Musical theater was a great thing for me, and I think it struck something in me that Hannah had been sitting there, but I
Right.
never had the courage to go out and do it. But if you can get on that stage and you can do musical theater,
You can do
that's
anything.
you can get in front of that camera.
Yes, because
And
I'm
that's
hearing there you're a triple threat. So not only are you acting, but you can dance and you can sing.
I can sing. I'm
Okay.
challenged. I'm challenged in the dance department.
Okay.
So act, I can sing. I can do other things too, but the dancing is a little shaky. But I
Okay.
have danced on stage. I have danced on stage.
But that's
Am
amazing in
I
itself. And kudos to your friend for looking out and pushing you towards that, because they obviously saw that it was something in you that, wanted to do it, but maybe they realized that you were a little shy or a little nervous to do so. So we need friends like that. So I love that.
and I appreciate her for that, honestly. Um, I credit her. Shout out to Tamara and shout out to Rose and Rose Productions in Louisiana. I credit them for the jump start of my career, because they doing theater with those people. It ignited where I am right now. So that's pretty much
Well,
my
hey,
start.
Tamara, girl, we shouting you out. Hey, girl, hey.
It
Definitely
is.
appreciate that. That's what's up. So, listen, speaking of the color purple, how did
Uh-huh.
you enjoy the rendition of the color purple, the recent version?
Yeah, I loved it. I
Okay.
loved it. I thought it was shot beautifully. I
Yes.
think some beautiful singing was done,
Yes.
and I think some amazing acting was done by several people in this film. And it was a powerhouse cast. The cast was loaded.
Yes, that it was. It was very loaded. Now I'm gonna tell you, I enjoyed it as well. I took a whole group of my family and we actually rented out the theater. to watch it. Yes, and we loved it. One of my aunts at first, she was kind of skeptical, just simply because, like you said, you're used to the traditional or the original version, but she fell in love with it all over again. We were singing, we had a great time. It was a day to be had by the family. Yes,
I love how they so perfectly married. It was a complete readaptation, and I loved how they married some of the movie and then some of the book and some of what you see on stage. I don't know if you've ever seen The Color Purple on stage, but if you ever get a chance to see The Color Purple on stage, it's one of the most beautiful shows, amazing shows to watch on stage, next to The Wiz and next to The Lion King,
which are two of my other favorites. So yes, we right there together. Oh my goodness, I love that. So how long now has it been? You said that was about 2019 when you started?
So yeah, 2018, 2019 is kind of when I did The Color Purple. So you know, I'm not that great at math, but so 2019. So
5 years.
But professionally, about 5 years. But professionally, as far as TV and film, I'm on my 3rd year as of April.
Okay, that's what's up. So let me ask you this. What are some of the projects that you've done or that you're working on at this time?
So I've done some commercial work and some voiceover stuff. I've done some things with a gaming company that was really fun not too long ago. I've done a film. And I've actually done 2 films. I'm on my 2nd film. The one that is coming out is I've also done a web series. It's hard to kind of try to remember your resume off the top of your head, but I'm sure it's going to get harder. I pray it gets harder to do that. But so yeah, I have a movie already out called Bruh Bruh. It's a comedy on Amazon, and you can also watch it on Tubi as well. And coming soon, I have a film called Resurrection Road coming out that I filmed the last year in Oklahoma, lived and filmed in Oklahoma for a month. And this film that's coming out is my biggest film yet. So this is like,
what's up? Congratulations. Are you able to tell us a little bit more about the project, or do you have to kind of keep it on wraps for now?
I can tell you the synopsis of it. So basically, in my own words, the movie is about an ex-slave who leads a troop of, including himself, 5 other Black Union soldiers during the Civil War, and they go on a pretty much a suicide mission to take down a Confederate fort. And they run into a lot more danger than they
expected,
obviously already anticipated. And that's kind of the plot twist.
Wow. Look, that sounds like one of those movies where you just like, let me get my popcorn, I'm ready to sit and watch and enjoy. So
yeah, it's like an action. It's like a historic action period piece, kind of.
Gotcha. That sounds good. I can't wait. So where will we be able to view this particular project?
That I cannot share as of yet.
Okay.
And that's largely because I do not know yet.
Okay.
So I'm what I guess what I can say is that I'm hoping that we get a run in some film festivals first. I'm hoping that we get a run in theaters, and then I'm hoping after that we get somewhere on a nice streaming platform.
Yes, I can definitely see that. I'm kind of intrigued, so I'm gonna keep up with that and check in as far as that project, because I love a tale of triumph, and also I love some good action. So you got me with action and triumph. I'm there. So I love.
Yeah, my first big movie being an action movie. I kind of gotta pat myself on the back. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah,
I'm very proud of it. Absolutely. I'm so proud to be a part of it. It was very, very much a blessing and very much a testimony that just booking that role is very much a testimony, very much a blessing.
Yes. And that's what we're going to continue to put out in the atmosphere. Nothing but blessings, nothing but prosperity, nothing but, career success. Because, like I know, this is a very hard, tough industry to be a part of. So you have to make yourself, thick skin,
Yeah,
prayed up, family support, any support. It is always a blessing, because there's no telling when the next project will come or
yeah,
how far they'll be in between. But it's just about keeping that focus, keeping that drive, and keeping your eyes on the prize. That's what you have to do. You have to.
absolutely. And being grounded spiritually, and knowing who you are and who you're not.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Well, and you kind of spoke of your friend earlier. Besides Tamara, do you
Mhm.
have a support team or some support system? Do you like congregate with a certain group of like actors or entrepreneurs or entertainers that you guys kind of keep each other grounded and motivated?
That's a great question. I'm very blessed to say that a lot of my friends are extremely supportive. Um, my closest friends and a lot of my actor friends, and they're very supportive, and mostly because we're in this together, and I'm building rapport with certain people in the industry. We're like just working horizontally, and coming up with, where everybody's like, it just feels like a class of actors, coming up together. you
Gotcha.
know um my fiance, my newly fiance,
Okay,
um
congratulations.
thank you. She's one of my biggest supporters. um
Is
my
she also
mother's a
in
big supporter.
entertainment or in the
She is not.
okay?
She works in education right now.
Okay.
So she's getting her second master's right now.
Go
She's
girl,
working in
go.
education.
Yes. I love
She
that.
Yeah, she already has a degree in social work, sociology. So um I love that woman, and she is a big supporter of me. My mom is another big supporter. Um I have a great mentor and friend in my acting coach, Josie Harris. And even my classmates, a part of that class at Respect for Acting Academy, it's called. Um, I never want for a reader to read, to somebody to help me read my audition. I never want for support when it comes to that group of people. Everybody's amazing. They're like brothers and sisters to me.
That's what's up. I love that. I love hearing that, because like I said, that is very important to have that, sense of structure, that sense of support, that
Yeah,
sense of community. And
absolutely.
especially in any industry. And one thing that stuck out to me, what you said, is something that I always tell, no matter what field you are in, I feel like it's important to have mentors in what you
Mm,
are wanting to pursue or what you are wanting to do. Who is more equipped than someone who's kind of forged that path or has
yeah,
had experiences that they're able to share with you?
absolutely. And I totally agree. And it's very important. It's very important to be under the tutelage of somebody who knows things that you might not necessarily know, or
Yeah,
might know certain things better than you, or it has been or is where you're trying to get.
exactly, exactly. And I love that for you. That is amazing. So you did kind of say that you also are in marketing, or you just took on a new role in marketing. Can you tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that? Does that tie into your acting path at all?
No, it's just kind of something like, as an actor, you gotta have multiple streams of income if possible. So acting is not always gonna pay the bills. We pray that one day that it will.
Right.
But it's not. Most actors are working class everyday people. So we have other jobs. It's a really a fact that I don't think a lot of people realize. celebrities and big stars and people who actually make a full-time living off of acting. It makes up a very small percentage.
Yes.
The larger percentage is everyday working class people. So it's just something that I've pivoted into. I graduated with a degree in culinary arts.
Hey.
And so I have been working as a chef and a cook. So I've been doing that for years up until now. I made a pivot because I also in college, although I didn't get my degree in it, I learned and picked up marketing skills. And I even between my chef jobs and cook jobs, I did marketing. I did social media management, social media coordinating, things of that nature. So I kind of just pivoted and landed this amazing job at a college university as a marketing coordinator for the dining hall. So I'm kind of still working with food technically, but I'm just doing something a little different because I kind of wanted to step outside of the kitchen for a while.
Yes. Well, I love that you're so versatile, right? Because I
Yeah.
mean, you're a whole dinner date, a whole dinner party all in one. You can get the marketing together for it, do the strategic, the cooking, the marketing strategy, and you can entertain all at the same time. So you like a little dinner show all in one.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse.
So you probably spoil your fiance with all of that. Is that something that you like to bring home, your cooking skills?
I try to as much as I can, and that's definitely something I'm big on at home is cooking for myself. I'm currently meal prepping for myself. Whenever my fiance wants a meal cooked, she comes to me, we get it done. She'll try to argue that I don't like to cook for her as much as she'd like, but that does happen. Yeah, I have a passion for food and cooking as well because it's all art to me.
Right, it is, and that's what I was saying. You're so versatile, and it is an artistry preparation of food, and the way you're able to present it, and different things like that. And I love. Listen, a man that can cook, hey, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Take something off my plate. I don't have to do as much cooking, so that works. That's nice. Now, I know that you said that you newly into this role through the university, and you're there in Louisiana. So with that, I've always heard, at least as of recently, that Louisiana is like the Hollywood of the South. How do you perceive that, or what do you think about
Absolutely. I would agree to that. I would agree to that. There's a lot of film and television that's done here now, and I try to get in the mix and try to figure out what's going on down here
Right.
because I live here and I've lived here for a long time, and I'm always seeing people filming in certain areas. I'm always seeing stuff going on, but I feel like it's a little exclusive here. You kind of got to get in the mix. You got to know somebody. It's like if you know type of thing. If you don't, you don't. That's
Gotcha.
kind of what it feels like. But yeah, there's definitely a market here, and it has been for a while. And yeah, I would agree that we're the Hollywood of the South. Now, as far as Atlanta, I think getting they're getting labeled Black Hollywood, which I would agree to as well, because Atlanta is popping. They got a lot
Have
going
you
on.
done anything in Atlanta? I know that you said you've traveled for, different projects. Have you been able to, tap into that niche down there in Black Hollywood?
I have not done anything in that market physically.
Okay.
I haven't done anything in that market physically, but hopefully that's on the cusp because I've done plenty of auditioning out of Atlanta.
Okay, that's what's up. Look, fingers crossed, because even myself, like, I'm here. Well, I'm based usually out of Florida, but I go back and forth from Florida to LA. And honestly, I never even saw myself being a part of the LA market. I mean, I just didn't feel like my demographic fit. But my acting instructor, which was Tasha Smith at the time, she said
We
that.
love her.
I'm sorry.
I said we love Tasha Smith.
Yes, yes. You know she's getting ready to be a part of the new Bad Boys. So I can't wait to see that. I love Bad Boys anyways, but now that she's a part of it, it just adds an extra cherry on top. But I
Yeah.
took a few classes through TSAW, and this was actually like maybe the first or the second class that I had with her, and she said, you know, you have to get on a plane and get to LA because that's where everything is. And, you know, me, myself, I never thought that. And she didn't say that, you know, like generally directly to me, but, you know, to the class, like LA is where it's at, basically, which we already know that. But before that statement, I never considered the LA market. It was like,
Yeah.
that doesn't fit me. I don't think I would. But when I say I get more things in LA than my own hometown or even Atlanta, where I'm still trying to get in, TP, holla, your girl trying to get in. Uh, and
I know
it's
that's right.
crazy to me. It's just like you just never know until you try it, right? And so if she hadn't said that during that class, I don't know if I would ever have even started to submit to projects in LA because I only stayed within my, you know, southern base, my southeastern base. But other than that, I don't think I would have went outside of my comfort zone. That's why they say sometimes you have to step out of that comfort zone to really embrace, you know, what's out there for you.
Right, because if you're so comfortable to your left, you'll never get to see what's on your right.
Yes, I love that. Yes, so you have to step. You have to step to the left, step to the right. Yes, you have to.
It's very true. LA is LA.
Yes.
You know, you don't even. There's nothing more that needs to be said. But I think another truth is that we live in a different space now when it comes to the industry, and that you literally you don't have to be in a certain market to work in a certain market anymore.
Right.
Because of this self-tape era that we're in, you can tape your auditions and send them in, and you can work. You can be a local hire. You can fly out to wherever you need to work.
Right, exactly. And there's pros and cons to that, which to everything, right? There's always pros, there's always cons. For me, the pros are, hey, I can submit to multiple castings and have myself submitted for various projects throughout. However, the con to that is sometimes your personality doesn't necessarily pierce through when you're doing, you know, like a video submission. Whereas when you're in the room, I know I'm gonna light up that room. I know somebody's gonna, you know, take to my energy, you know. So that's just kind of the pros and cons for me. Are there any for you as far as you know, doing self submissions or doing video castings?
That's so funny because we talk about self taping and video casting, and really what brought that era upon us was the pandemic.
Yes.
The pandemic changed the game, and the industry is always ever changing. But the pandemic really changed the game, and I started professionally in 2021 when it comes to TV and film. So all I've ever known was auditioning via self-tape.
Yes.
So that's all I've ever known. Now I can imagine what different pros and cons can definitely be, especially on the self-tape side, because that's what I have the most experience with. But I've done one in-person audition, and that was for an open call with the agency that I'm with.
Okay.
And so that's the only time I've had like an in-person audition.
Okay.
Everything else I've ever done has been self-tape.
Gotcha. Okay. I can understand that, yes, because you started when that whole era kind of began.
Yeah.
And we're still just, you know, in the mix of that, which I feel like, you know, the casting directors prefer it, you know, more because again, they're able to see more array of talent in a short period of time, opposed to, okay, let me schedule this casting call, have all these people come down and, you know, all of that rigmarole.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from. Now,
Absolutely.
this is the part of the podcast where I ask you, because again, the name of my podcast is Synoria's Best Kept Secret. What are some of your best kept industry secrets, or maybe just like a gem that you would like to share with someone who may want to, you know, enter into entertainment?
Best kept secrets. I don't know if I necessarily have any secrets per se, but I'll say this because, you know, it may not be something that everybody thinks about or even knows. So I'll say two things. One, know your why, and I learned that from my acting coach. Know your why, no matter how complicated your why might be or simple your why might be. Know why you're doing this, because that's what's going to keep you doing it.
Right.
And that's with anything in life. Knowing your why is what's going to keep you going.
Exactly.
So whenever you get those days, because life gets hard, and if we're talking about acting, this gets really hard. It gets really tedious. It gets really frustrating. You know, it gets really discouraging. You have to remember why you even are in the industry or doing what you love in the first place, because that's what's gonna keep you going. That's what's gonna keep you auditioning, keep submitting those auditions. And two, um, give your character a before and after moment in your auditions. It's very small and subtle, but it makes the world of difference. It beefs up your audition.
Right. I definitely appreciate that, because your coming from work character is not going to be the same as your stay at home mom character, or, so I definitely appreciate that. Now, you know what my next question is going to be.
Okay.
What's your why? What is
My
your
why? Okay, so my why is because I enjoy it, and that's something that's very simple. My why is something. It's because I enjoy it. It's because I want to make people feel. I think one of the most important things in life is the way we make people feel before we leave this earth. And so I think about people like my favorite actor, God rest his soul, Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, yeah.
The way he made somebody like me feel seeing him on the big screen before he passed the way he did.
Yeah.
He left an indelible mark before he left us. He left us with something very special, more than just Black Panther.
Yes.
He left us with a very special gift.
Yes,
he left us with his gift.
and it makes you just like more just more cognizant of and appreciative of being able to be here in the now and really hone in on your craft and your gift. Because imagine his mindset. We didn't even know, of course people were saying little things here and there, but we didn't even really know the full history and we didn't have the full knowledge of everything that he was going through in that moment, and to still persevere and complete such great bodies of work is like astonishing, mind-blowing. You know what I mean?
That was a man with purpose. That
Yes.
was a man with purpose.
Wow.
And
You're right.
that's another why. That's another why I believe that this is my purpose, and I feel like I'm walking in my purpose. And I'm big on experience. I wanna experience and have been an experience to somebody. You know, that's another thing that we don't realize. Everybody's an experience to one another, whether we realize it or not. Yeah, that can be a good experience, that can be a bad experience. Nonetheless, we're all an experience to each other. So that's just a few of my whys off the top of my head, things that I try to remember as I continue on my journey. We only get one of these things called life, and it's very short. It's very short, and I wanna live this very short life going for my dreams.
And I love that. Yes, the experience of you, the experience of others. I definitely love that. Go ahead and tell everyone where we can find you, how we can follow you, what social media you're on.
So, hi again, everybody. My name is Davonte Burse again, and you can find me on all social media at Davonte Burse, Davonte.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking the time and stopping by and speaking with me. I'm definitely going to continue to follow you and monitor your progress, as I hope that you will do my progress as well. We have to build this community and stick together. We have to see each other to that finish line, because we all know it's better and it's greater at the end of that tunnel. So I'm definitely wishing you well.
Thank you so much. And I wish you the same. And thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Yes, you're welcome. You're so welcome. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, this is Synoria's Best Kept Secret podcast. Make sure you follow me as well as Davonte on all social media. And we look forward to talking to you real soon. Have a good night, everybody.